Let's do it. Do or die this week against the Hawks, isn't it? Shout out Blue. Shout out Blue Abroad. We love it. Big show, guys. Big show on the Pies Footy agenda tonight. We've got VFL review. We've got the predicted 23, and I've got a little topic I'd like to talk about regarding some of our players. And then I also have we're going to do some predictions for the round. So, how is everyone? What are we saying? Digsby's back. Digsby, you've been unwell. I hope you're feeling better, mate. Good to see you back. Yes, I know that song, Digsby. It's a nice rendition of that one. Maddie, how you going, champs? Let's go, champ. Shama. B. Parsons, here he is. I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm starting to feel better. And we've got a big game on the weekend. We've got a big game. We're getting closer. Hey, let's fuck the Hawks up, champ. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's get the Brockers in us. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get fucking started. Let me see if I've got the right one here. Close. But that's the one. Here we go. Okay. All right. I've found our first segment for the evening. Almost. Let me just quickly make sure this webcam thing is as near flush as possible. Where are my tradies? Is that flush? That's as flush as it's going to get, guys, isn't it? It's as flush as it's going to get. The VFL wrap. So Collingwood ended up going down by 29 points against the Cats. And we'll go by individual performances initially, and then we'll talk about the team outcome. But you can see it all there for you guys to soak in while I talk dribble. But Sam Glover, not many people would be aware of this guy if you are a Collingwood supporter, or at least going into this season. Whereas now, I feel like he's actually announced himself. But the problem is that he doesn't want to play AFL. So I think he's 26 going 27, Sam Glover. Unbelievable. Behind the ball, intercept marking, 101. Uses the ball really well. Plays confidently. Plays he's the leader of the VFL side, which I think he is. I think he's the captain. 28 touches to go with his 12 intercept possessions. He gets a Pie performance rating of 9.5 for that game. I could hardly fault the man for the way he was playing. And he's been playing like this all year, apparently. So I need to watch a little bit more VFL and give you guys a little bit more insight on these guys who he's not even AFL listed. He wasn't looked at as a preseason supplementary player. He wasn't looked at in a mid-season draft. So I've got concerns that he just doesn't want to play AFL. That's what it seems like to me. And then we've got Jack Bytel. The week before this, he gets the coach's MVP. And then this week, he backs it up with 33 touches, 1 goal, 12 contested possessions. And what impressed me was his ball use. Going inside 50, connecting the chain, which is what I wanted to see from Mr. Bytel, because he was poor with his ball use when he wasn't playing at AFL level this year, albeit with limited possessions. He didn't do super well with it, right? So he's knocking on the door of an opportunity this week. And we do have the predicted 23 coming up, so we'll save that conversation in a moment for that. Here we have Big Roo. So for those who aren't aware, Big Illaroo Smith is the mid-season draft acquisition that no one thought Collingwood was going to take, or nobody thought anyone would take. It was something that's kept under the rug. He got 12 touches, 3 clearances, high energy, gets behind the ball well as a defensive ruckman, in the sense that he'll find himself trailing back into the defensive line and trying to intercept the ball. He's quite clean below the knees. He's fast. We've spoken about his draft combine times. how good he is in a 20-meter sprint. He's closer to AFL level than I first thought, guys. Truthfully. So he's going to be an interesting prospect. A very interesting prospect at that. And the only knock on him is probably his endurance. That's my only grievance with him. But I don't think that will be an issue as he continues to play and train professionally on a full-time basis. So, hey, does he play some games next season? Probably. Does he play this season? Probably not. Even if his form was unbelievable for the remainder of the season, going into the last couple of games, I'd probably still keep him in the VFL just to keep building on his form. So that's where I'd go with that. So I gave him an 8, and I didn't say Bytel. Gave Bytel an 8.5. And then just some special mentions. We got Harry Demetia, 17 touches, 5 scoring involvements, and had a penetrating kick, left foot boot. So we knew most of those things coming in. Pretty much saw everything I'd hoped for from Demetia in that game. He wasn't amazing, but when he had the ball, he did all the right things. Has a good pair of hands as well. So, and he is a bit taller than your John Nobles and Steel Sidebottoms who are currently occupying that halfback flank position. So we'll see, does Demetia get an opportunity at some point this year? I gave him a 7.5. And then Reef McInnes, 18 touches, 8 score involvements, 3 contested marks, and he also played very high up the ground and let McStay do his thing. Ash Johnson do his thing. Ash Johnson would alternate here and there and play high up the ground from time to time. Giving him a 7.7. He was incredible and probably should get extra points given he did play a quarter of AFL footy the game or the night before against Geelong. So you're probably going to expect someone like Reef McInnes to come straight back into the side and start on the weekend against the Hawks, hopefully, if Fly's got his marbles together. Lastly, McStay obviously has to get a special mention considering the goal that he kicked in the first minute of the game, 3 contested marks, just looked confident. And that's all you wanted. You didn't need him to kick 4 or 5. You just wanted to look confident when the ball was around him. He was jumping, flying at the ball, landing softly. It was all very nice to see. Gave him a 7. And then the team outcome, guys, very similar. Funny, the way the game played out was very similar. For those who watched the game with us on the watch along, it was quite similar in the sense that we conceded 21 inside 50s, which I think was the same count on Friday night. We essentially shat the bed in the second half and lost any sort of momentum. And yeah, my final note was, did I just watch a replay of the AFL between Collingwood and Geelong from Friday night? So that's where I kind of stood with it. It was a good game to watch. It wasn't just Geelong, just at VFL and AFL level, they're so good at shutting out teams in that fourth quarter with their uncontested possessions, and they're able to slow down the game when needed throughout portions of the game, chip their way up and get a handball receive and then open up the game. And chipping away at Collingwood seems to work very well, at least in recent times. Let's divert our attention to the chat for a moment and see what's going on in here. Which menaces are here? AA, what's going on? Glover definitely needs to be an SSP signing for next season, just judging off that one game. But like I said, I've heard that he's been playing very well for the most part of the 2024 VFL season. Okay, Peter G has some insight here. The Pies wanted to bring him in to our AFL program, but he declined to enter any type of draft. That was a couple years ago, but I believe his desire to play AFL hasn't changed. Geez, I wonder if he's, as he gets older, maybe he starts to ponder what it could be like to play AFL level. Maybe his values change and his mindset perspective might change to if he wants to have a look. I'm not too sure. Get the kids in. Our premiership players have proven they got no balls. No kidia, mate. Mania. Considering this Saturday's practically elimination final should just play mixed state AFL level, even though the club said he would play VFL this weekend. Yeah, Bolts did mention that, Peter, that he will play VFL. But don't worry, we'll dive into this some more within the predicted 23. Pies Manny has spoken. Kia ora. Howdy, Benny. Sidebottom really wants to play next year. Huh? It shows recently that goal was great, long awaited as well. All right, let's move into the next segment, guys. And we're going to talk players who are dropping off relative to what we're seeing from a Nick Dacos. Okay. So the title there, it's Dacos and who. So those numbers that you're looking at on that screen, particularly when we look at the Nick Dacos one, is we're seeing an 18% increase in his player rating across the course of 2024 relative to 2023. You ask yourself, I was asking myself last year, can Nick Dacos get any better? Is it possible? I didn't see how it could have been. Yes, there was room to grow in the midfield. Obviously, that's where probably the improvement was and is. And we've seen it. It's a near on 20% increase. We know the player ratings isn't the be-all, end-all, but it does give you some sort of idea as to where players are at. And for Nick Dacos to basically have a Brownlow, I guess, Brownlow-like season last year and to improve his game by 20% just goes to show what this man's ceiling is. Can we say, is there another 20% in him? I wouldn't knock him. I wouldn't knock him right now, that's for sure. Now, onto the negatives. Degoe, we know, right? 30% down from 2024 to 2023. Hasn't been the same. Had a good stretch. Has had a good stretch. Played awful against Essendon. Bounced back against Geelong. And then before that, had 3 or 4 good games in between injuries, Mr. Geordie Degoe. But in the whole outlook on the season, it just hasn't been enough for Geordie. So 30% there. That's the number there. Okay. Darcy Moore. Now, this one is generous. Okay. Like I said, the player rating isn't the be all end all. Sometimes it favors you and looks prettier on you. Sometimes it wears ugly on you. But Darcy, it sort of makes him look a little bit prettier. And I guess, like, I don't want to beat a dead horse any more than what it has been, and I'm not going to do that. All I can say is I'd like him to play forward. And that's all I'm going to say about Darcy Moore. Because there's been a lot of work being put into him in the media. I guess you wear it. You wear it as the Collingwood, the captain of Collingwood, a Big 4 club in Victoria. You're going to get it right. But I'm going to do the right thing today and just ease up a bit, just for tonight. Don't need to do it all the time. We know, guys. We know. We're all human. So, yeah. And then Lockie Schultz was an interesting one. His output relative to his time at Fremantle is down 35% in player ratings. So that was a massive one. And yes, he's had a couple of injuries, but his time on ground this year is still the same as last year. He's currently averaging 82% time on ground this year, and same as last year, he's at 81%. So, yeah, look, I guess I could put the whole Collingwood team, and most of our players would be in a deficit. Isaac Quaynor, still side bottom. Oleg Markov. Everyone. Pretty much everyone, right? Besides Nick Dacos, Darcy Cameron, Jack Crisp from last season. So, yeah, that's probably where I stand with all of that. What's the chat saying? Let me scroll up and see what's cracking. Give me a sec. Alan, yeah, I'm definitely feeling a lot better. I'm back at work, so that's good. Got a bit of a life now. think DC's improved for sure. 100% his player ratings would have gone up. Darcy Moore's becoming pathetic. He's a captain, still doesn't come out and talk to his members. Missing in action. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Moore is a hack. Even Crisp, too. He's close to breaking the consecutive game record. It's nuts. He's been good, but probably a victim of. I mentioned this yesterday, I think. Fly's almost played him out of form since Pendlebury and De Goey have come back in. He's had to wear less midfield time and play as a high half forward flanker. And his output is just down significantly in the last few games. Yeah, he kicked his 3 goals against Essendon, but outside of that, there wasn't a lot of impact. And then against Geelong, only had 15 touches. So, Stealth, how you going, mate? I'm good. Crisp consecutive record is kind of hurting him now. The fatigue is showing. We need a solid mid like Cripps or Bont to support Nick. Yeah, it could have been Pendles. It's supposed to be De Goey, but it's not. Not right now. The Schultz stat is a little unfair. First season in underperforming new team. Yeah, I think I did mention it. Maybe I should make it extra clear. Is when the whole team is down, the individuals for the most part are obviously going to scale towards the mean of the team, right? But I was just trying to make a point how Nick Dacos has been able to take his game to a level that nobody thought would be possible. And there's no one quite coming with him outside of Darcy Cameron and Jack Crisp. Bobby Hill in spurts. All playing cook like Tom Jonas. These numbers sum up our season. Too many of our important players have been injured or their performances have dropped off this season. Yeah, we'll never be able to narrow it down to what went wrong if it does go wrong. Like injuries, form, hunger. We've talked about it all, guys. Like this is why we're here. We're here on the channel to ensure that we all kind of understand what's going on at the Collingwood Football Club without knowing what's happening internally. I think we all collectively we've come together on the channel and we've dissected and go, all right, cool. We've reflected immediately after games. We recoup. We come back during the week. We chat then. We chat before the games. I think we're all a pretty cognizant bunch, and this is the beauty of the channel is we can come together and make some really smart, educated observations on this team and where they're at. And I think we're all pretty much on the same page and we can say it's not just the one thing. It's not just Darcy Moore. It's not just hunger. It's not just injuries. It's not just coaching. It's all of the above, which is a problem because it's a lot. But sometimes you just need to fucking press that big fucking reset button. And that reset button probably comes in the form of season 2025 as of right now. Thoughts? Cox and how to be assessed for the game. We need to get Cox in the team to give more a chop out in the half-back line, so more can stay back. We'll get into the predicted 23 in a moment, Manny. We'll talk about that for sure. Fly has to try more forward. Okay, people do forget Darcy Moore is a great kick. Yes, sure, it's a good kick at goal. Schultz may not suit our game plan. Need to give Schultz more time. He's still new in the system. What's your day job? I'm a NDIS support coordinator. So for people who are on the NDIS disability scheme, so if somebody has autism, I'm in the office making sure they don't overspend their funds. I get them support workers. If they need a behavioral support practitioner, I source that. Rapport builder. I'm like a stake, just I guess I'm the middleman to a certain extent, but also hold a strong relationship with the client and the rest of the other providers that are working with the client. Darcy Cameron's still only 29. Exciting stuff from Big Darcy. And I think Ruckman can go quite deep as long as they don't get too battered later in their career. Because I think you look at the Premier Ruckman, all the Premier Ruckman are in their 30s. And that's probably where they reach their prime just because they're big bodies. They know how to use that. They understand body weight and manipulation and all that sort of stuff. So I think you look at Max Gawn, Brody Grundy's probably close to his 30s, if I'm not mistaken. Aaron Sandilands played late. Todd Goldstein's still going. So he's got a lot left. Bit of hit out stat padding, but it happens. Yes, it does happen. Do you think Flyers coaching has been poor lately? To a certain extent, I would say so. Injuries, post-premiership desire drop off, and other teams improving, coming up with effective strategies to combat our strengths. Exactly. A multitude of variables. Would you play more on a wing? He has the athletic capability, and it could be that connection between D50 and forward 50. I don't know if he's got the tank for it, though. I don't think he's personally got the tank for it. I would like to see Bo McCurry in the middle as a tagger on other team's main players. He did it on Luke Davies-Uniacke pretty well. My only concern is, does he give you enough outside of that in the midfield? That's probably the question that's worth asking. And then now, we're into our predicted 23. I hope I'm not missing anyone as far as I hope I haven't double dipped and have two John Nobles on the side. But have a look. That's what I'm going for. I will say before you guys lose your mind, McStay was in consideration, but I think he's going to get another week in the VFL from what I've heard. And I think that's reasonable. And I like that because it gives Fly McRae an opportunity to put Darcy Moore on the forward line. Because I feel like if McStay came in, you wouldn't want to make too many more changes positional when it comes to swapping positions wise. So I'd like to keep someone like Darcy Moore in the back line if McStay was to come back in. And yeah, I'm still pretty optimistic that Kruger will play in the back line at some point. Maybe not against Hawthorn. So remember, Tuesday, the Pies Footy show is the more hopeful, optimistic, let's get a bit creative with the 23. And then when we get to Thursday, the moving the magnets, that's when we lock in and we go, all right, look, come on, pull your head in. What's actually realistic at this point? So that's what we have here. The thing that's annoying me right now is Fly keeps saying that we're process driven and not results driven, but we keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. Something needs to change. Correct. That's right. Okay. Dean. Okay, yeah, he did have that concussion. So it was a confirmed concussion. Okay. Sorry, I did miss that. So I guess that would mean maybe Demon's here. Maybe Frampton holds his spot. Maybe Markov. Probably one of those ones, guys. Yeah. Shooter is stiff in your team and Lipper. I think Shooter's got a concussion. That's why Alan Shooter's got a concussion, which is why he's not in the team. I wouldn't be dropping him. I've got Jeremy Howe in the back line. Howe and Cox will be available. Okay. So then Mason Cox, Peter, could potentially allow Kruger to go into the back line as well. You hear that? Mason Cox plays, Nathan Kruger to the back line. I don't mind that. Let's get a poll on it. I want to see what our thoughts are on that one. Kruger to the back line while Cox returns to forward line. I think we're trying to run and gun, Manny. We're trying to run and gun, but we don't have it off the half back. I just don't think we have it, Manny. We're stopped. We're getting held up. We're not clean enough, and we're getting pressured. It's almost too predictable now the way we go about it. Nick Dacos and Jack Crisp did that for us last year, and other players who are playing better in the back line. We don't really have that this year, which is still mind-boggling. Still haven't seen Jack Crisp or Nick Dacos play a bit of backline time to mix it up. What's everyone saying? Most people are saying yes to Kruger to the back line while Cox returns to the forward line. Yeah. Where does the run come from? In the back line, you still got Noble, Sidebottom, Bruzzy. And that's why you have IQ on the bench as well. Try and get that. If Demeter comes in, he's there for it. Yeah, it's a tricky one. Something needs to happen. I need to see something on Saturday. I need to see something on Saturday where I go, all right, we're trying something different. And I know it sounds naive because we've put Billy Frampton forward. Sidebottom's been moved to the back line. Jack Chris has been playing midfield for the most part of the year. So Fly has moved some magnets, so to speak, but it hasn't moved the magnets that I've wanted. Not all of them. Hasn't touched Kruger. Hasn't touched Darcy Moore. Hasn't played Josh Dacos in the midfield enough. There's a few things, guys, that I just think he's just missing. It's difficult. It is difficult because you just don't want to upset the apple cart as well. Not that the apple cart isn't upset already. So to the hell with it, right? What's Peter saying? It's a last roll of the dice to say, let's go for broke and change things up a bit. Yeah, you can go two ways about it, Peter. You can just, I guess, completely throw caution to the wind and completely mix it up like we did with the Gold Coast game, which can work for you, or does Fly play it safe and just trust what he's got there at the moment, position-wise, player-wise. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Cox like permanently forward with Kruger on our backline. That could work. At this stage, anything is worth a go. Yeah, 100%. If Cox comes back, watch out. Game will be better. An actual target to kick to. Okay. Yeah, he's a good target. He's a good target. Nathan Kruger's been nice as well, Steve. Don't you think? I thought Kruger's has provided some sort of aerial presence in the air. Still has to get through training next week to be considered as well. 16. Oh, okay. So 16 votes, 50% split down the middle when it comes to Kruger to the back line while Cox returns to the forward line. 50%. Interesting that. Sidey is a good sub idea. I want to keep Sidey on the field. And put Harrison sub. Pendles is the other concerning one. I think we had this difficult conversation yesterday in the Pie performers. He gives us so much with the ball. With his ball use. And he's good inside tight. But as the game opens up, he's a bit behind it. He's a bit past it. So what do we do? What are we supposed to do with that? That's a dilemma. Because it's weird. Like he's, like I said, with the ball, he's so accustomed to the AFL. So like, I don't know. He's just him with the ball. He's got it. But going back the other way, it's just difficult to watch him sometimes. It's hard because he's just so slow. Yeah. Tough one. Psychologically, too much change as we don't believe in our game plan anymore. Maybe. That's definitely a sign. It's definitely a sign. But there's always two tales to the story, I feel like. You could also say not enough change psychologically shows a fear of risk. And fear of risk can represent cowardness or a lack of courage. What do you think about that? We had 3 weeks to lock in top 4 and they're fucking Matty's still burning. I prefer Frampton in backline, Krug's up front. Don't rate Cox anymore. Time's running out. If he's in with the Hawks, if Hawks Win, we'll lose the Tiggies week after. Yeah, so there's obviously that route as well. Like, if Cox, I guess, in consideration where Kruger's playing well on the forward line. So there's that conversation. Is he worthy of a spot? Got to play the kids and fringe players. We need to make big decisions at the end of the year to determine who is part of our future or not. We've got too many aging and maybe players. There's a bit happening, Jimbo, isn't there? There's quite a bit happening. It's a bit happening. It's a headache. I'm glad I don't have to fucking deal with it. I mean, we have to deal with it. All of us have to deal with it on a weekly basis. But yeah, at least we're not the coaching panel. We keep losing so many to concussion. I wonder how prevalent it is at other clubs. I think it's a bit of luck. There's not going to be a consistent rate across the board with that. Play Pendles, half forward. I don't know. I think he's too slow for half forward. His best position outside of midfield is probably halfback. Bro, do you think the Hawthorn kids are getting tired just playing devil's advocate? The thing is that the standard of their kids versus the standard of our kids, their kids are better, mate. Don't you think, Manny? I personally think their kids are better. Let's talk kids. Will Day, Dylan Moore, CJ. Who else have we got? I'm blanking, but Jai Newcomb. These are, yeah. Finlay McRae's no Jai Newcomb. Joe Richards is good, but he's no Dylan Moore. Harvey Harrison's okay. He's also no Dylan Moore. He's, not too sure. Harrison as sub sounds good, champ, and he can come on second half with a bit of run in his legs. Could have a big impact. Yeah, I don't want to drop Harrison. Keep playing him. Keep playing him, and if he has to play bench, then he has to play bench. Play Pendles half forward. AJ, and then Alan says AJ's toast. If he can't get in now, he never will. Oh, Ash Johnson, yeah. Yep. The risk is in our game plan. Magpie, you don't rate Bytel. Did you watch the VFL? Were you in the stream watching the VFL? I thought he was one of the best players. I've got it here. Have a look at this. I've got Bytel for 33 touches, 1 goal, 12 contested possessions, and his ball use was exquisite. Was really composed going inside 50. I thought he was really clean. And he was the coach's MVP the prior game. Yes, it's VFL. Has he been able to break out of the rigors of the VFL? No. But I think he deserves another opportunity at the very least. Side needs to play this game considering what's on the line, but him and D50 makes me nervous. He does give me nervous energy, Peter, sometimes. Just when he's going back with the ball, doesn't quite commit to it. Maybe punches a few that he probably should try take. Bit sloppy going outside. His disposal can be suspect at times. By the way, keep the good work in chat. Thanks, Dennis. I appreciate it. Stevie, the champ. How you going? If you don't take risks, then you lose. It's roll the dice time. Yep. The Hawks kids are getting better as the season goes, 100%. Cox could be in the 23. But, yeah, I think I did forget about him a little bit. I think with Cox, if Cox comes in, I'd like to see Kruger into the back line. But at the same time, he still has some boxes to tick, Mason Cox, this week before he's actually in consideration. But we'll know more. We'll know more, obviously, closer to Thursday. So my Thursday predicted 23. I'll have more of a realistic, accurate punch at it. What about giving McInnes in the middle or back line? I'm not too sure. I think forward line probably is still his best position, Reef McInnes. But he can play midfield, drafted as a midfielder, Dennis, old mate Reef McInnes, and had a great game in the VFL. Got him down for 18 touches, 8 score involvements, 3 contested marks, played quite hard the ground. I gave him a 7.7. I thought he was really good. You have to factor in he played a quarter against Geelong, so he's played 4 quarters in less than 24 hours. Yeah, he played really good. I don't know if he kicked the goal. Did he kick one? I can't quite remember. Would have liked to see him kick a goal to really cap things off there. But that's that. We are 1 game off 7th and 2 games off 2nd. with a heap to come back. I can't believe our own supporters. Pizza, I think it's just the way we're playing, the way the ball's being moved against us, the way we're conceding inside 50s, the way we look slow, the way we have injuries. And guys, the worst part of it all, it's not that we're too far out of the 8. It's that we have Sydney, Melbourne, Carlton, Hawthorn, Brisbane, and Richmond in our last 6 games. So, like, we're basically gonna have to win a grand final before we even make the final series. We're gonna have to beat the best teams. We're gonna have to go 5-1 against the best teams in the league just to get to the finals. Yeah, Jacko, CM is contested mark. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Pies by 24 points, goals, and put Nick Dacos running half back like last year. Just give me 20% Nick Dacos half back. Give me 20% time there. Let me see it. Goodness, we won a flag with Nick Dacos playing most of the season off the halfback flank. Right? Let me actually have a look. Let's go back to last year. And let's see in 2023 in the final series how often Nick Dacos started in the center. Okay, in the grand final, Nick Dacos had 74% centre bounce attendance. And then in the prelim, let's go Collingwood GWS prelim, centre bounce attendances. Nick Dacos just 20% centre bounce attendances in the preliminary final, and he had 28 touches. Not a whole lot of scoring involvements, but yeah, just give me a little bit more Nick Dacos off the halfback flank and a little bit of Jack Crisp. We beat Hawks and we beat the Blues. I hope we finish out of the 8. The Laughing Magpie thinks. For the draft picks, or just to get more of a reality check? Which one is it? Or is it both? Rumors are coming out of Western Australia again about Bobby being traded to Freo for our first round big pack. I think that's just a piss take, Magpie. I think he's just taking a piss. I think that's just a piss. Yeah. There's a lot of pessimism amongst our supporters, mainly due to our run home, but now it's time to be optimistic to back our boys. Yeah, I would say there's a lot of pessimism because of the fixture, more than anything, and obviously a couple other things. But I suppose we're optimistic. We move past the weekend and we just look at what could be the best way to go about it, and just have a little chat as pie lovers. Yeah, you want to get the reality check? Fair enough. I can see that. If we win 5 of the last 6 games, then we know we'll be good enough if we make it in. Exactly. That's what I was saying. If we can get to the final series with the fixture ahead of us, that's a grand final. That's a premiership within itself without the flag. Fly needs to figure out a way to stop teams that do this chip kicking. Our zone seems not to be able to handle that style. Correct? But it's such a hard thing to address. There's so many things that are at play. Like there's 2 things, right, in footy. How well you can move the ball and how well you can defend the ball movement. It sounds so simple, but it's very, very, what's the word? It's deep. It's deep. It's simple at face value, yeah? Running man-on-man doesn't always work. And there's a reason why in the AFL you very rarely see man-on-man. Very rarely see man-on-man. Need to beat the Hawks no matter what. Yep. Keep pulling forward line. Yeah, I agree. Keep pulling the forward line. Cold pies. I reckon we'll be all right. I believe my boys with the next 6 will be good. Correct? For those... Oh, okay. On to the next one. Players to watch against Hawthorn. Running hot. James Sicily. All right, let's talk about this man. So last 5 matches, some key stats based on averages. So 22 touches per game, 3 intercept marks per game, and a goal, and 5 score involvements. His player rating, according to Champion Data, is 14.58, which is 20th in the entire league. He's played with the bung shoulder for the last couple of weeks. He was vulnerable in defense against Fremantle. Swings forward, wins them the game. Kicks 3 goals. Sicily forward could be a problem against Collingwood. Sicily in the back line, if his shoulder's okay, is going to be a problem because of his ball movement. One of the better ball users, one of the best ball users off half back in the league. This man is a scary proposition for the Pies. And boy, did he set up shop against us in that second half, in that gather round game. He was the general. What did Mr. James Sicily get against Collingwood in that gather round game? What was it? Round 4? I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, round 4 gather round. James Sicily had 22 touches and 3 intercept marks. So he had a good game. I wonder where he plays. I'm not too sure. But yeah, it's interesting. Where's he going to play? Back line, forward line. Pick your poison, Collingwood. Pick your poison because he's going to hurt us either way. That's how I see it. Who stops him? Answer me that, chat. Who do you put on James Sicily if he plays in the forward line? I wouldn't mind Isaac Quaynor on James Sicily. I think that's a fair matchup. Isaac Quaynor. Or Braden Maynard. And Mabior Chol, Darcy Moore. Mabior Chol, Darcy Moore. Howie's a good one as well, actually. Howie's a good one. So I feel like we have some suitable matchups for James Sicily. Now that we're thinking about it. I think we have some good looks on him. I really do. Frampton to tag Sicily. Get off it, Benny. IQ is faster than Sicily as well. Yeah, I don't imagine Sicily is too much of a mark on lead player. He loves jumping at the ball in a high aerial contest. So, yeah. What do you think? What do you think, chat? There's obviously it's hard to reduce a game plan to one player, but there needs to be respect put on this man's name, how well he's been playing. Who gets Ginny and the Wizard? Ooh. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one, actually. John Noble is going to have to do something. Still, Sidebottom's going to have to do something. Yeah. I think we'll struggle with that. I think we will struggle a little bit with that. I think in that case, Jimbo, I think Isaac Quaynor is going to have to play on one of them. He's going to have to play on one of them, probably both of them at some point. Give Jeremy Howe, James Sicily. Give Chol, Darcy Moore. Yeah, so that would be interesting. I predict Sicily is shit, but we'll kick to him constantly and make him look like a champion. If we don't, we win. Simple. I don't know, Alan, if we can, like I said, I don't think we can reduce our game plan and outcome of the game to one man in James Sicily. I don't think that's quite the case. Who Frampton on? Cashadia or whatever his name is? Cashadia is good. But I don't know. I still don't know if Frampton makes the team. I know Charlie Dean is out. But I still don't know if Frampton is good enough for the team. Brazzy with the tag. Yeah, he could play. You could play on him. Could play on him. Give him a hard time. Giddy may not play, having a knee test. Okay. Cool. At year's end, I do a 3-way trade that sees us trade in Brisbane's 2024 first rounder and Richmond's 2025 third rounder. Richmond gets our 2025 first rounder and Brisbane gets 5 2024 third rounders. That's deep, Magpie. That's a deep thought process there. I'd do a 3-way trade that sees us trade in Brisbane's 2024 first rounder and Richmond's 2025 third rounder. Richmond gets our 2025 first rounder. Brisbane gets 5 2024 third rounders. There you go, guys. It's too many numbers for me. I'm not that smart. When we're favourite to win, we lose. But when they say we can't win, we will win. Go Pies. Go Pies, Marty. Go Pies. That's all I can say. Go Pies. Yeah. All right, let's do some predictions for the season. Squiggle. We'll do this round's not ladder predictions, but predictions of the games. Where is it? Predicted ladder predictor. Here we go. All right, let me share the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Present, share screen, squiggle AFL ladder. Get that on. Change the branding behind to something minimalistic, such as would love to see LDU. Okay, Brisbane get points for Levi Ashcroft. Thing is, Magpie, regarding Levi Ashcroft, I don't think stockpiling draft picks is going to work anymore. So that might not work. But we'll see. Would love to see him. All right. Let's go. Essendon and Adelaide. Let's put it in the chat. End poll. Let's add another one here. Essendon. No, that's Q&A. Sorry. Start a poll. Who wins? Bombers. Crows. Start poll. Yeah. Okay. I think looking at this, right? Did Adelaide have a good win against St Kilda? They did. And Essendon came off a disappointing win. Riley Thilthorpe is looking good. And with my ever so slight Collingwood bias, I'm going to go Adelaide Crows by 1 point. That's what I think. We've got here... People think Bombers are just going to nip the Crows at Marvel Stadium. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this game. I reckon it's going to be an interesting one. This is the battle of the expansion clubs. Is that what it's called? The battle of the expansion? The expansion teams? GWS vs Gold Coast. Let's go start a poll. Who wins? GWS, Suns. And that's that. Mate, Jimbo, he looks big. He's put on some weight in a short time frame. So it's and he's got a beard now. He looks like a fully grown fucking 30-year-old. So I don't know where that came from. In regards to this game, I think GW's been playing well. They beat Carlton. They beat Richmond. I kind of want to see Gold Coast win away from home, but I don't think it's going to be that game. So I think we're going to go GWS. And most people are saying GWS as well. 13 votes, 77% in the favor of GWS. Yeah. Okay. Moving on, we got St Kilda West Coast. Do we even do a poll for that? Does anybody really? Can't believe we're doing a ladder predictor. This is getting ridiculous. Hello, Manny. We're just doing a prediction for the round. Just for the round. Concession Club Clash. Nice one, Boomer. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. And poll. Let's go. Who wins? Who wins? Saints, Eagles. God, the Saints have been so up and down this year. They beat Sydney. Yeah, they beat Collingwood early in the season when we were still scary to come up against. And they're hardly making. They're in the bottom 4. And this is at Docklands. I think St Kilda will get up, but they can't kick a winning score. So that winning score is just going to be 9 points. Oh, would you look at this? This is going to be interesting, actually. I want to see how many people were going to tip Collingwood for this one. Yeah, Footy will be the loser, Jimbo. That's a good one. Footy will be the true loser. And West Coast cannot win away from Perth. Who wins? Pies? Let's see. Yeah, who cares? Exactly, Alan. Who gives a shit about those 2 teams right now? Who wins? Pies versus Hawks. Come on. Show your true colors. Show your true colors, guys. Show me. Okay, the faith is there. Come on. Steve-O says Pies by 66. Love it. Always back the boys. Always back the boys. Collingwood by 60. Black and whites all the way. I like it. Come on. 33 of you in the chat. I want everybody putting their money on Pies here, guys. Come on. Click that Pies button. Let's manifest. Come on. Let's get some energy. Hey, come on. Let me see it. Pies by 12. Pies by 50. Come on. Let's get it going. Yeah? Love that. Oh, Lukey. Not me. Not me. Not watching live this week. Playing tennis instead. I will check the result after and watch the replay for the win. Looking forward to a relaxing weekend for it. I see what you're saying, Luke. I see what you're saying. I can understand that. But come on, mate. Put yourself through it with us. Lukey, come on. 19 votes. Collingwood, 74%. Can't let Junior get a game against the Mighty Pies. Last year, tipped us. Never pick against us. More to kick 7. I like it, Boomer. I hate to say it. We lose by 30. We know the importance of the game, so I'm sure this will get us up and about. Pies by 33. What a win. Come on, Luke, mate. You're taking a piss. Tennis. Come on. We've got to watch the game. We've got to watch the game. For better or worse, Lukey. McStay will kick 4 on Sicily. Hoskin Elliott's a bag of 5. All right, I actually got a good question. I got a good question for you guys in this one. Poll. No. Q&A. What is your hot take going in? Okay, actually. Who will have a surprise performance on Saturday? Come on, guys. Give me your best surprise performance on Saturday for the Pies. Who's gonna come in and tear it up? Who's gonna wind it back? Who's gonna return to form? Who's gonna announce themselves? Who's it gonna be? Fly. If Moore is named forward or is dropped, I'll watch. If we don't go get up for this game, might as well throw the towel in. The proverbial towel. Joey Richards to kick 4. That would be massive. I love that. Joey Richards to kick 4. I'm writing that down. I'm manifesting it in my notebook. Joey Richards to kick 4 goals. James VB thinks Noble will have a better game. Jordan DeGoey, Lipper and Hyphen, Stephanos, Ned Long, 35 disposals, 5 clearances, 4 goal assist. Damn, that's true. It is against Hawthorn. I did forget to mention that. Just watch Ned Long up against Old Side who kicked him out. Yep. Hopefully he stays in the team. God, you'd be stiff if you're Ned Long and you get dropped going into the game against Hawthorn. McStay's back in, if that's awesome. If I'd put him down for a bag to kick 5 goals. Hill would kick 6 and will hold the Hawks to under 75. Would love that. Geordie for 3 would also love that. IQ to have a better game. Come on, Benny, give me some numbers, mate. Come on. That's not good enough. It's too reserved. Come on. Come on, Benny. Richards for 4. Yes, Matty. That's what we want. What's my one? My one will be Jack Bytel comes in, 25 disposals and a goal off the wing. Or does he play in the middle to allow Nick Dacos or Jack Chris to play off the halfback flank? Maynard kicks 2 goals. Stealth, tell me, how does he kick the goal, Stealthy? How does he kick those goals? Is it a hand pass off a marked kick just on the arc of the 50? Guinea to get reported? That'd be hilarious. Michali te kanate. Yaso Bobby Hill to bounce back and kick 4 goals and not fuck around. I'd be happy with Bobby Hill just to not fuck around. Mick. And thanks. And by the way, thank you for signing up to the YouTube membership. We appreciate it, Michali. Like I said, all the money just goes towards the overheads, the streaming services, the thumbnails, all that sort of stuff, royalty-free music. It all costs a bit. So anything towards that goes a long way and just gets reinvested back into the channel. IQ 22 and 6 intercept marks. That'd be massive. I don't think he's been anywhere near 6 intercept marks for the year, but we'll see. We'll see. So we'll go. What's the final verdict? How much does Collingwood win by, guys? Quickly. Am I going here? Am I going here? Am I going here? Here? How much does Collingwood win by? Give me the final verdict. Because this is very important where I put it. Because it's whatever happens here, whatever I click here is what's going to happen on the weekend. Trust me. I can feel it. Give me a number. 18, 35, 34, okay. Ben Parsons says 3 goals, 35. Ooh, something about 35, guys. Is that a Nick Dacos vengeance game? Yeah? The return fixture. We played Hawthorn at the G this time last year. Number 35, Nick Dacos, loses his Brownlow thanks to these pricks. I think we're going to go with number 35. That is the magic number, 35. Because of this man, for those who had missed this segment, if you want to go back and watch it later, you can do so. Let me get rid of the screen. Let me put my face, get my face out of the way. Put him here. Nick Dacos, 35, best on ground. Peter thinks he gets his groove back. Dennis thinks being useful. Didn't Bytel have... He had 30-something. We had 41 touches the week before. Coach's MVP. So that's our man for the weekend. Nick Dacos, guys. An 18% increase in performance from last year to this year. Such a specimen. All right. We're at the hour mark, guys. I'm going to call it a day. Call it an evening. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you on Thursday for moving the magnets. And go Pies as always, guys. Pies by 35.